It is very, very important that you understand your obligations of the training contract. A 4-year training contract has got obligations that must be met by both parties, the employer and the employee. Some of the obligations the employer must provide is formal structured training, trade schooling, provide for a safe working environment, ensure that the workplace excludes any workplace harassment and bullying issues. The employer must also pay the apprentice, he or she, the right wage rates as set out in the agreement or EBA, and the employer must also allow apprentices to attend trade schooling. There are also obligations that the employee, the apprentice, must meet. Be available for work, attend work at the requested times, attend TAFE school, work in a safe environment and look after the employee's assets and materials. If an apprentice or an employer, in fact, is in breach of any of the obligations, then we refer this to a process at the Victorian Skills Commission. Should an apprentice want to leave their training contract or an employer, in fact, get rid of an apprentice or terminate an apprentice, then it must be by mutual consent. If there is no mutual consent, this then gets referred to the Victorian Skills Commission. We're here at the Victorian Skills Commission, 2 Treasury Place in Melbourne. Should problems arise during your apprenticeship, breaches of the training obligations by either party, the employer or employee, then you'll be requested to attend a proceeding here. You cannot, under the Education Training and Reform Act, have legal representations at these hearings. Hence the importance of having a union representative. We've had fantastic results here, and I strongly recommend that you become a union member so that you're represented here.
I've had a couple of little problems with employers, and if it can't be sorted out through group training, it's only a phone call to the union. They can advise you on how to deal with it. I wasn't really aware of I was locked into a contract for 4 years and I couldn't approach an employer and they couldn't approach me to be employed. I thought it was more like your normal casual sort of work. If you've worked with them for 3 months, then you get the offer of full-time employment with that company. I didn't realise it was you're locked in for 4 years.
The issues I get with apprentices are really ones that can apply to any employee, such as gone to work for a company for a year, hasn't been paid wages for several weeks of that, or hasn't been paid superannuation for the entire time, that type of thing.
When I first started, I think I was on about $275 a week, something along those lines. He wasn't paying any tool allowances, any fare allowances, no travel money, nothing. I found out that I was entitled to that, tried to get the money that he owed me, all my super, holiday pay, and all the back pay for travel money and whatnot. He, just wouldn't pay. Every time I tried to speak to him, he hung up on me. So then I went to the ETU, spoke to Omar, and it was with the help of the ETU that we got him into Fair Work Australia and got the money that he owed me. If the union weren't there to support me, then there's virtually nothing I could do legally that I could have got that money.
Sometimes there's other issues where, once again, it's a situation that's led to an apprentice being terminated, and they think there's something suspicious about it. You've got a shop steward at your workplace, that's where I'd go straight away, just to get their advice on how it should be tackled. Normally that's something that the shop steward can put in dispute, like they just go to the company and have the discussion with the company, see if it can be resolved. If you can deal with it at an early stage, that's probably, that's a good outcome. A lot of our stuff we don't run to Fair Work Australia or the court. We'll speak to the company first, because normally the organisers will have a rapport with them and we'll try and sort them out.
Generally it falls down to either you telling your employer, and if you don't feel comfortable directly going to your employer, your first protocol again is call Omar or call one of your local organiser and speak to them, explain to them what's going on. They'll give you a direct plan of action, and if it's very severe, they'll come down and sort things out directly with your employer.